Why are you so tense? Why does it feel like everything is slipping out of your control? That constant stress you feel isn't just a bad mood. It's an alarm, a warning signal, a clear sign that you're losing control. And in the world we live in, a person who can't control themselves becomes prey, someone others are waiting to hunt. If you think this is just another video telling you to take a deep breath or do some shallow tricks to relax, you're wrong. This video is about survival, about practical strategies to free yourself from the daily stress that's slowly breaking you down. If you don't watch this to the end, you'll miss the most important weapon you need to survive in this world. So listen carefully. People often ask me, how are you always so calm? And when they hear that a few years ago I was completely burned out, mentally and physically destroyed, they don't believe it. They say, you're always in control. The truth is, no one is bulletproof. Everyone feels stress. The difference is how you respond. In a world where everyone is running, reacting, and panicking, the calm person holds the power. There's a core principle in The Prince. The one who controls their emotions can control the fate of others. When you stay calm and your opponent is emotional, you think while they react. You design the next move while they walk straight into the trap. Stress makes you predictable. Predictable means weak. Calm makes you sealed, unreadable, and dangerous. Short bursts of stress, like being late, activate the fight or flight system. That's normal. It's ancient. It helped us survive. The disaster begins when stress becomes chronic, when you're stuck in combat mode all the time. That's when your body breaks down, your mind deteriorates, and you turn into an exhausted soldier, one mistake away from collapse. That's why I spent years building habits to neutralize this poison, to protect my brain and body, my primary weapons. Stress is automatic. Calm is not. If you do nothing, you lose. Calm requires technique. So how do we lower daily stress? How do we leave the victim state and move from constant fight or flight into control and command? Today, I'm giving you 5 weapons, 5 habits I personally use to stay out of burnout and keep my mind and body battle ready. Weapon 1, the rule of single tasking, crushing chaos. This was the first rule I learned when I completely broke down. It's for moments when you feel buried under responsibilities and out of time. Life throws endless demands at you to crush your focus. Make money, clean the house, work out, be a good person, eat right, read, call people, finish that damn project. This mental overload is what makes you vulnerable. The solution? Take your power back. How? Focus on this moment only, not the entire week, not even the entire day. Just the one task you're doing right now. Life asks for a lot, but when you break it into pieces and eliminate them one by one, everything becomes manageable. Stop turning every task into a mountain, one thing at a time. And when everything feels rushed, slow down on purpose. Stop. Breathe deeply. You'll tell yourself, I don't have time. This isn't wasting time. It's sharpening the axe. When you slow down, the world is forced to match your rhythm. Weapon 2, real rest. Sharpen the weapon. Your brain is a weapon, and you're letting it go dull. We respect muscle recovery, but we ignore mental recovery. Your brain can only handle about 4 hours of deep focus per day. After that, it needs restoration. This is where most people make a fatal mistake. They rest by scrolling, checking messages, drowning in social media. That's not rest. That's war on a different front. Your brain never recovers. So how do you truly rest? Close your eyes for 1 or 2 minutes. Take slow, deep breaths. Gently massage your temples or the area beneath your ears where the vagus nerve runs. This sends a direct calm signal to your brain. If you can, take a 20-minute afternoon nap or a 15-minute walk without your phone. Just walking, letting your mind wander. Even making tea helps. It forces patience. Waiting for water to boil, waiting for it to brew, letting it cool. It's mindfulness in disguise. You might think this is trivial, but look at your life. You're always on your phone. You've been denying your mind even a few seconds of peace. Weapon 3, acceptance. The end of inner resistance. A huge part of our stress comes from wishing reality were different. We try to control everything. When we can't, we panic. This is exactly what Machiavelli warned about. He said fate is like a violent river. When it floods, it destroys everything. The wise person builds dams and channels before the storm. You can't stop the flood, but you can prepare. You can redirect it. Rigid people stand against the river and drown. Flexible people redirect it to their advantage. This is acceptance, not weakness, but strategy. When something changes or fails, don't panic. Accept it fast. Search for the opportunity inside it. Don't fight change. Exploit it. Weapon 4, digital discipline. Reclaim your attention. There's something beside you right now designed to steal your focus, waste your time, and remind you how far behind you are. Your phone. I'm not saying phones are bad. I'm saying you're losing a psychological war. Notifications spike cortisol. Social media delivers dopamine hits like drugs. Your attention is your most valuable asset. Stop letting it be stolen. Simple rules. Assign your phone a physical place at home. Turn off as many notifications as possible. No phone for the first 30 minutes after waking up. No phone for the last 30 minutes before sleep. Delete apps that drain you, ruthlessly. Take control back. Weapon 5, the body, your final fortress. If your mind must be strong, your body cannot be broken. There are 4 pillars that protect your brain from chronic stress: movement, sleep, nutrition, meditation. These are your defenses before the storm. And yet, when stress hits, these are the first things people abandon, like leaving your bunker during war. Exercise releases endorphins and melts stress. Sleep detoxifies your brain. Sleep deprivation poisons decision-making. Nutrition directly shapes your brain chemistry. Meditation trains focus and emotional control, even a few minutes a day. Stress is part of life. It's a signal. But chronic stress is an enemy that eats you alive from the inside. Machiavelli once said something brutal. People act better out of necessity than choice. Right now, stress has forced you to feel weak. Use that necessity. Turn stress into fuel. Rebuild yourself, stronger, calmer, more controlled. You've learned how to build your inner fortress, how to quiet your mind, how to reclaim focus, how to keep your body battle ready. But this is only half the war. You can't hide in the fortress forever. Sooner or later, you must step back into the real world. A world full of chaos, unpredictability, and pressure. A world that will try to break you again. Now we move to the external battlefield. The question is this: how do you use the calm you fought so hard to build to handle the stress the world throws at you? There are a few advanced strategies left. The first and most important is control of time. One of the world's most effective weapons against you is manufactured urgency. It's an illusion. Your boss labels an email urgent. A client calls demanding an answer right now. A friend texts, "Why aren't you replying?" That sense of urgency hits the same fight-or-flight system we talked about earlier. Your brain doesn't know the difference between an urgent email and a hungry predator. In both cases, cortisol is released. You rush, and rush people don't think, they react. They make mistakes. They give ground. They lose control. So what's the solution? Strategic pause. This is a power move. When someone demands an immediate answer, you slow down on purpose, even if you already know the answer. You take a breath and calmly say, I need to check this. I'll get back to you. Or, give me a moment to think about it. That pause might last only 10 seconds, but it does something powerful. It takes control away from them and puts it back in your hands. Why? Because you didn't react. You designed your next move. You set the rhythm of the game, not them. The person who stays calm and refuses to rush always holds the advantage. Part of this strategy is learning one word. No. That word is the wall of your fortress. Someone who says yes to everything has no boundaries, and someone with no boundaries is an easy target. Every yes you give others is a no to your own priorities. Saying no is not selfish, it's defense. You're protecting your most valuable assets, time and energy. Don't let others set the pace of your day. Now, even with time protected and walls built, there's a problem. Sometimes the enemy is already inside the fortress, which brings us to one of the biggest sources of stress. Other people. You can't choose your family. Often you can't choose your coworkers or your boss. And there will always be people whose specialty is injecting chaos, drama, and stress. They feed on emotional reactions. They are energy vampires. No matter how strong your inner fortress is, no matter how much you meditate, if you don't know how to disarm these people, they will enter and rot everything from the inside. So how do you neutralize them? It's called the gray rock technique. It's simple. When you face a toxic person, you become a gray rock. Boring, emotionless, unreactive. They shout, they provoke, they complain, they cry. What are they looking for? Your emotional response. Anger, fear, justification, sympathy. You give them none of it. You look at them calmly and respond with neutral phrases. I see. Okay. Understood. Nothing more. They came for drama. They hit stone. They get bored. They move on to another victim. Your emotions are expensive. Don't give them away for free. When you become unreadable, you become uncontrollable. And what can't be controlled can't be exploited. You've defended your time. You've neutralized toxic people. But there's still one major energy leak. Your environment. You are only as strong as the weakest point your environment allows. A messy room, a chaotic desk, endless notification sounds. These are small cracks in your armor, places where stress seeps in, drop by drop. Your brain needs order to feel safe. Clutter tells your mind, you're behind, you're unfinished, you're not in control. The solution is to build a shelter. Your home should be a recovery zone, not an extension of the battlefield. When you walk through the door, the war should end. What does that mean? Control the inputs. Everything has a place. Your keys, your phone, your tools. Every night, spend 10 minutes organizing your room or desk. This isn't cleaning. This is closing open loops in your brain. It sends a powerful message. This part is done. We're in control. You're building dams before the flood. So when real stress hits, an urgent project, a serious conflict, you don't drown. Because your environment no longer controls you, you control it. Your fortress is secure. Time is yours. Toxic people are disarmed. Your environment is stable. And then you fail. Which brings us to the final and most feared source of stress. Fear of failure. Accept this now. You will fail. Projects will be rejected. Negotiations will collapse. You'll miscalculate. Relationships will break. This will happen. The victim panics, freezes, collapses under the weight of failure. Chronic stress returns. Why me? I'm a loser. But the strategist does something different. They extract information. When something fails, don't panic. Don't attack yourself. Act like a general. Conduct an after-action review. This is a military technique. Take a piece of paper and write, calmly, without emotion. What was my plan? What outcome did I expect? What actually happened? Why did it happen this way? Where exactly was my weakness? What will I change next time? Now, failure isn't a disaster, it's data. You just identified a weakness and eliminated it. You're stronger than before. That's why the Romans prepared treatments before disease appeared. They didn't wait for collapse. They anticipated it. You do the same with failure. You use the last defeat to prepare for the next battle. You stop fearing failure because you know every failure makes you harder to defeat. Stress loses its power because it no longer surprises you. You didn't delay the war. You shaped the battlefield in your favor. Remember how I said this video was about survival? Now you have the tools, but tools mean nothing if you don't use them. Here's my challenge to you. For the next 7 days, choose one strategy. Only one. If toxic people surround you, be a gray rock for 7 days. If your space is chaotic, build your shelter for 7 days. If you rush constantly, practice strategic pause for 7 days. You can close this video and return to being tense, reactive, predictable. Or you can use the pressure you're under as fuel and transform yourself into someone calm, controlled, and dangerous. Choose. If you choose power, watching isn't enough. Weak people watch. Strong people act. Now answer in comments. Which strategy are you starting today?